This is The Weekly on ClickOrlando.com with Justin Warmoth.
Good morning, I'm Justin Warmoth. Right now, we're in the midst of a serious teen mental health crisis. In fact, the number of teenagers and young adults with clinical depression more than doubled between 2011 and 2021. Experts blame the combination of the pandemic and social media as the main drivers, and it appears the issue gets even worse during the school year. My guest this morning is working to address the crisis by creating a safe place for teens to be teens, and it's working. Here's the founder of the nonprofit Rebuild Yourself, Inc., Cynthia Borgwing. Tell us about Rebuild Yourself, Inc. How did this idea start, and what exactly is it?
Sure. Rebuild Yourself, Inc. is a nonprofit organization that started in August of 2021 when my daughter was a junior in high school, was having issues socializing and interacting with her friends, or what, her peers, because she felt she didn't have friends. Mm-hmm. So one of the biggest things for her is she would call me every day saying that she had no one to sit with at lunch and that she didn't want anybody to feel that she was a weirdo or something was wrong. And so I kept telling her to give it time. Eventually, one day, she called me crying, saying that someone found her, a dean found her in the bathroom eating lunch by a toilet seat. And she was crying, saying, you know, I'm a weirdo, I can't fit in, I'm so embarrassed. And I said, I can be part of the problem or I can be part of the solution. So I spoke with my family, my husband, and told them I wanted to start a program that rebuilds kids' self-esteem, to know that they're okay, to know how to interact with their peers, to become better humans. That's the best way that I can say it to them, that they're always accepted for who they are. And that's how it started. So it's a nonprofit. The reason I do a nonprofit, and I don't charge them anything, obviously, you know, because I never want a kid to feel they don't belong because of a cost of $1. So it's important to me.
Yeah, and what's so striking is what started as something for your daughter and a way to make her feel and boost her self-esteem, essentially,
sure,
make her feel included, has now ballooned to something that is so powerful, and it's changing these kids' lives. And we're talking hundreds of kids.
Yes, over 633 as of right now. So
how does that feel when you see, I don't know if that's because you see that there's something that's lacking in their lives where they feel like they need something like this. They hear about it, it's word of mouth, and now you're up to more than 600 kids. What does that tell you?
I think COVID really took an effect on the children.
Yeah.
A lot of kids got locked into their own world or not having to interact. Anxiety, depression, things of that nature. Social media probably didn't do a good job for them either, seeing this image of a perfect life or whatever they see and they don't feel that way. So I'm just trying to reassure them and bring them back to the foundational things that we learned growing up that's vital for them to thrive and succeed.
Right. I know things can change on a daily basis, but take us inside one of the days where you guys meet. What goes on, and how are they interacting? What does that look like?
Sure, it's great. Right after school, we have I'm going to talk about one of the events. Sorry. So right after school, they come over to the program. We rent a facility, a space, and then what they do is we always feed them because every teen is hungry. I don't know if you know any teen, but they're always wanting food.
Bottomless pit.
Yeah. So what was really great is that the local community, donates those meals every week so the kids have something to eat, right? Then afterwards, during that beginning interaction for someone, we just try to build on those. We let them talk. We let them be peers, especially if a kid is brand new. We'll make sure that we kind of team them up with a buddy, somebody that I see that's very like-minded of that kid, sit them together, and we always encourage positivity. So if somebody sits there and tells me they like video games, they're a little nervous, it's their first time, I'll definitely try to pair them with someone that I know has that same interest. And that way we can start forming that communication. We give them about, 15 minutes. We socialize with all of them while they're eating their meals. And then afterwards, we provide them a social or life skill every week, a different session every week. So for example, August, where it's focused on Wellness Month, right? So every week, we're gonna do a different topic about wellness. One's about self-care and things of that nature. And we'll just include them in that. And we don't just teach it ourselves. We have a peer also help lead it so they can feel like they're hearing from them, the same age group. So I don't try to teach them higher level. I bring it down to where they're at, because I think that that's how they retain it better. Then afterwards, so they don't think I'm too boring, I do a team building game and we do something really fun. So then that's what they take with them.
When you see a transformation, how does that make you feel? Because I know that you see that on a daily basis. Every time you meet, you're seeing someone sort of come out of their shell, right?
Yes.
And does it happen quickly? I guess it depends on the kid, but how does that make you feel when you see that?
So it depends on the kid, like you said. What I always tell the parents when they're trying to bring their child to the program, I said, give me a chance, maybe not the first time, but at least 2 times. Just have them come. And if they don't like it after that, don't force them. It's not for them, and I'm okay with that. I said, but just at least so they can get familiar, because maybe the first time they're a little awkward, maybe the second time they're a little more relaxed, and you'll see a difference. My best situation that I can discuss is we have a youth president, I'm sorry. And she didn't want to come. Her mom made her. And when she came up to me, I remember her talking to me, and I was joking around with her, and I was just like, so why are you here? And she's like, my mom made me come. I don't want to be here. It was total. And I said, you know what, I appreciate that. So I said, well, we're really cool. I know you don't know it, but we are. And I was just like, and just see if you like it, and that's it. And so what ended up happening is that day, I can see that she was very perhaps uncomfortable or didn't want to be there. So just randomly start throwing paper, like paper balls at her, like trying to joke around, and we would throw things around the room, and she's like, what is this? This is a different club. And I was like, I'm telling you, we're cool. So we ended up talking, things of that nature, and as time progressed, whenever we said, hey, we want to have a youth president, one of you kids to help lead and have a board, and she's like, I want to try out. I was like, get out of town. And a lot of the kids voted for her. Like most of the majority vote was for her. And I love that because it was a kid who was apprehensive to come, and now she's our lead for all the children. So it's really great.
That is awesome. I know that some kids go there without telling their folks.
Yes, that's another too. Yes.
Why do you think that is?
So another thing, some kids feel that they can't be as open to talk to their parents because sometimes their parents aren't understanding of their feelings. I can be a perfect example. I can tell my child one thing and they don't want to listen to me, but if they tell another person and the person says the exact same thing, then it's cool. Like they feel like they have that difference. So some of the kids come here because they feel like it's a safe place. They can be who they want, what they want to be called, and be accepted. And I think that that's the biggest thing, to know that no matter what, when you walk through those doors, I don't care what you did the day before, I don't care who you thought you were the day before, you come in and you are welcome. And I think that that's eye-opening to give kids teen acceptance.
Yeah. And do you feel like, to a certain extent, that you are now a mom to more than 600 other kids?
They call me mom.
They do?
Yeah, they call me mom. In fact, I got a text message from a kid yesterday from someone who's been out of the program. She's obviously graduated, and I just got a message, hey mom, and I responded and I said, hey, how you been? And she responded with, I just was thinking about you and I just wanted to say thank you.
I mean,
that's
what it's about.
And so I just wrote, I was like, I hope you're doing well, this and this and this. And she's actually coming to our next event next Thursday. I said, hey, why don't you just come by and see everybody? She's like, I'd love to. So she's coming next week.
We'll have more on Rebuild Yourself, Inc. coming up, including an inspiring testimonial on the impact it had on a teen struggling with their mental health. Stay with us.
This is The Weekly on ClickOrlando.com with Justin Warmoth.
Welcome back as we continue our conversation with the founder of Rebuild Yourself, Inc., Cynthia Borgwing. Her nonprofit works to address the mental health crisis among teens. In only its second year, the group has exploded in popularity, with more than 600 kids now in the program.
This is not what you do full-time.
No.
This is a side project, right?
Yes.
I mean, what do you do full-time?
So I'm an associate director for the Department of Veterans Affairs. So that's a full-time job in itself, which is great. This came out of love for my kid and wanting to help my kid. And I knew my child came from a good home. And I said, if my kid is feeling this way, there has to be others. And I was right.
Now, I want to give you a lot of credit, and I think you are a main reason why they are transforming, and their self-esteem is boosting and their confidence is up. But is it being around people who feel that they are not alone? Is it, now that these kids who have felt alone for so many years, but now they're together, what do you think that dynamic, how that dynamic really transforms them and they have that understanding that they are, that they can find someone who they're going through the same thing. Do you think that's a lot of it too?
Yes, in fact, some of our kids always felt that they couldn't communicate with others, and so they felt lonely. And then when they come into this program and they're starting to talk to kids that they saw in school all the time, they're like, I'm friends with this kid because of this program. I would have never talked to them there. I said, why not? And they were like, oh, I don't know. I can just walk up to somebody, but here we have to talk to each other and we have to kind of communicate. I'll tell you what, like besides them taking pictures or maybe doing a fun TikTok because, we have to bring it to their level, they don't have their phones open. They don't have them on and trying to get lost in translation. They're there in the moment with those people around them. And I think that that's what makes the difference.
How difficult is it for in today's society, to just be a teen? I as the mom of a teenager, well, probably not anymore, well, still a teenager.
She just turned 18.
She just turned 18.
Yeah.
But how difficult is it for them?
So, what's funny is people ask me sometimes, hey, what are the age groups that you do, right? And I said, I do middle school and high school. And they said, why? And I said, because that's when it gets weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird when I was going, so I get that, but then you throw the fact, COVID on top of what social media is today.
Correct.
And it can really bring you down. It brings down anyone, not just teens, but they are at that age where
that's where they're learning the most and the things that they're taking in. And so one of the things is, like in elementary school, for the most part, they're all together mandated in one class, right? When you go to middle school, you're in 7 different classrooms for only 50 minutes. How can you really communicate if you're paying attention to the lesson, right?
Yeah.
And then you're constantly moving in different classrooms all the way through high school. Here, you have that one-on-one connection. This is a regular scheduled group of kids that you go and see, and you can connect more and have that one-on-one time. I feel high school and middle school, while wonderful in academics, we took out all the things of the life learning things, like where's home ec? Where are those things? And we're just bringing them back to the foundational growth that they need to be successful humans when they become adults.
It's a way to get off of the hamster wheel of going to high school or middle school, and they have something to look forward to every single day, right? I mean, if someone, who do you cater? Which is it? Orange, Osceola? Who can you accept?
Right now we have Orange County and Osceola County.
Okay.
Those are the 2 counties. We also help other centers, but of course that's specialty to their locations. But those are the primary places that we're doing. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that one day we get to a place that we can be in all of Florida. That's my dream. I know it's a little rough of a dream, but I hope so, that if I could get into the school systems and be an after-school club that kids can come into and just provide those services everywhere, imagine the positive impact that we'll do for them versus we hearing these case studies that since COVID, it's been the most anxiety and depression within children. I wonder if that can make the difference. Let's be proactive versus reactive with teen mental health.
Liz, I know there are countless testimonials that you can tell me about. What's another one that sticks out to you?
I think when you see the dynamic change from a parent and the child itself. So a mother reached out to me telling me that her child was having a hard time getting up and going to school, not wanting to leave the home. They were, mental health is real. And she wanted just another avenue, another parent, another support system that could probably help her. So I called her. I said, hey, we're having this event. We'd love to have you. Just a bunch of kids chilling, you have to make a relative. And what was really great is that kid ended up coming all the time to our programs. While she was having a hard time to get up to go to school and be in person, she never missed a Thursday, because Thursdays was the day that she came and saw Rebuild after the program.
That's, and I can't help but imagine the trickle-down effect that having that self-esteem boost does for not just being social and enjoying your high school experience, but also grades, attending class, and then just setting them up for the future. That's what this is all about, right?
Correct.
Making sure that they have a future that is not bogged down by what they're going through as just a normal high school kid. You're breaking them out of that shell and setting them up for the success of the future.
Yes, in fact, our juniors and seniors, we have a program that we started putting into place that it's career planning and development and leadership. And so we have these teens and we start assigning them different mentors from the community that is going to work with them one-on-one once a month or whatever the case may be. We help them. We're going to do college tours. We're going to help them get on the right path of what works for them. And then hopefully by the time that they're 18 and they graduate high school, they don't need us. That's what I want for them. You know, when I hear that, hey, a kid's not going to come to the program anymore, that's great. That means that they feel like they're comfortable enough to grow and be on their own, and that's what we want.
Right. Let's talk about the new school year.
Sure.
If someone is looking for something like this, and you know they're in Orange Osceola, how do they get involved? How can they get involved? Or if someone is watching this and they just feel inspired to help you out and help the organization out in any way they can, how can they get involved as well?
Absolutely. So our website is www.rebuildselfcare.com. They could always go and sign up. What we have is we have newsletters that come out weekly, especially during the school year, because we try to roll through the school year. And so we'll provide weekly newsletters and talk about each topic that's going to happen, and the kids can just click on it and sign up for what works for them. I'm sure if we were talking about makeup tips, some people wouldn't want to come. That's okay. But we try to do what we can for the kids. The topics that come up also that's really important is based on an anonymous survey that the kids provide us at the end of every session. So if the kid says, hey, Ma, I really would like to talk about this, I don't know who said it, but I'll bring it into our program because that's something that's impactful for them. And I think that that's what makes the difference. I'm not trying to tell them, hey, this is the only plan. Tell me what you need and I'll try to do my best to give it to you.
And my thanks to Cynthia for her time this week. If you'd like to find some more information on Rebuild Yourself, Inc. and how you can get involved, just head to clickorlando.com/weekly. I'm Justin Warmoth. Hope you have a great Sunday.